Consumers have been transferring money for over 150 years. It all began with the telegram, and now the power relies mainly on smartphones. Instant payments have been ramping up around the globe, helping both small businesses and large corporations. So what comes next? I asked Gaston Irigoyen, co-founder and CEO of Pelo, a leading company for issuing and processing card payments in Latin America.
I think since technology first arrived in the region and the first electronic payments, started to, pour our society, almost 40 years ago, it's been a constant progress, but we're still very, very far away from where we would like to be. Some stats show, 20, 30, 40% of electronic payments. So that means that still more than 50% of the economy works with cash, right? So I think we're making good progress, and it's been accelerating in recent years. I think here in Brazil, the case of Pix has been a great example of that momentum. And then, of course, cards continue to make a lot of progress, and we have QR codes and crypto and different technologies, playing out nicely. But unfortunately, I think we still have a couple of decades ahead of us before we can go completely cashless.
What is the holdup when you see some of those countries and others that are progressing at a faster pace? Is it the government? Is it the population, the way of life, and convincing them to jump into tech?
It's definitely a combination of things. I think regulators and governments do play a big role. I think Brazil has been extremely positive from that perspective, and a great example. The Brazilian Central Bank is known to be one of the most innovative around the world, and that certainly helps push things forward. By creating like an entire digital ecosystem and technologies like Pix, that certainly drives and accelerates adoption. So that definitely plays a part. Apart from that, I do think that there's a cultural side to it. People are used to doing things as they've done them throughout their entire lives. So I think we do need to go through some generational changes as well. And then it's also a matter of having better products. I think the B2C or the direct-to-consumer fintechs have done a great job over the last 10 or so years, the likes of Nubank, Mercado Pago, and so many other companies that have created native digital and mobile products that we didn't have before. Of course, banks and more traditional players have also been doing their digital transformation processes and pushing better and better products into the market that now can be consumed through mobile phones. So that also plays a big role, because to the extent that you can have a better financial services experience with your phone as opposed to the old-fashioned ways or just simply using cash, I think that's a big incentive for people to change their behavior.
Was there a moment in your life or something that inspired you to get Pelo off the ground?
Cards are the number one means of payment or electronic payments throughout LATAM. And in those previous experiences, it would take us, literally 18 to 24 months to be able to launch a card in any given market. So when you're thinking about building a regional company and delivering your product throughout the entire region, it literally took us, 8 to 10 years to do so. And so that was such a big frustration for us that we decided to create this company to level the playing field and to unite Latin America and to help our customers be able to launch and scale any sort of card-related product. So debit, credit, prepaid, crypto, corporate cards throughout the region in a much simpler way. And that's exactly what drove us. And today we're very happy to be able to share that, we have some customers that literally launched a card program in 2 weeks in one given market, and then in another 2 weeks they were able to expand into a third or fourth market. So that means that today we have dramatically changed sort of the way the cards business work, and we're helping Latin American and global companies execute card-related business in the region in a completely different way.
Do you think that a cashless society can change the world? I mean, you're solving a problem, but there's also the efficiency aspect of making things easier and faster. Is that a combination of what fintech does?
Yes, 100%. I think financial services are critical to any society, any country, any market around the world. And if you think about it, in Latin America, it plays a very, very structural part of our daily lives and our future progress. It's the same with education. It's the same with health, right? I think as a region we are still very delayed and behind in those realms. We're talking about like basic fundamental things that need to be in place and to work accordingly, so that people can make progress and all the different societies and groups can make progress as a whole. And so if you think about the current environment with very high inflation, people who live in cash, who don't have a bank account, who don't have the ability to invest their own money and make some interest on a daily basis, they are effectively losing money, and they are effectively having a harder time moving out of poverty or just making general economic progress. That can help us accelerate the transition to a cashless economy. We should continue to be inspired by the Chinese example.